2 rounds, bro. Almost the whole round control time. That gotta be a UFC record, bro.
Yeah, not what I expected, but I'm glad Khamzat fixed his cardio or improved his cardio to the point where he can go 5 rounds and just ragdoll people. That's a miss.
Khamzat showed everybody that he has cardio.
I thought it was going to be a more exciting fight, first of all. But I love grappling anyway, so I enjoyed it. But I know there's a lot of fans who probably think it's like hugging him or whatever, but I personally really enjoyed it. I mean, just complete domination. Just complete domination from Khamzat. It's there was just one-way traffic for the full 5 rounds. Got a bit hairy like the last minute. DDP put some shots on him, but just didn't have enough left in the tank, I don't think, to do much damage. So
that guy is strong, couldn't finish. Respect that guy. The only champion who was saying my name. This guy has big heart. Real lion, African real lion. Thank you, brother.
Well, Khamzat, enjoy this moment. Congratulations, sir. You're the new middleweight champion of the world.
Thank you very much.
They didn't just crown a new middleweight champion, they handed the division a riddle nobody has solved yet. Khamzat Chimaev didn't need a flash finish to make his case. He stacked minutes until the scorecards felt inevitable. Takedowns came in chains, control came in layers, and the message was blunt. If you can't stop the entry, you don't get a vote. This win wasn't a moment, it was a map. And now every contender has to explain how they plan to redraw it.
Chimaev cannot get him down. If he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP's gonna beat him.
First round, brother! Yeah, brother! I would like to see Khamzat win. I just think this is a hard fight. I think Drake is, but I want Khamzat to win.
I personally think he beats up Khamzat Chimaev.
To this fight, I said, I bet the main event is the fight of the night. Didn't see that coming, but not shocked either. I mean, you go in and dominate the way that he dominated. If you can do it the first round, more than likely you can do it the second and throughout the rest of the fight. Every round at 10-8, maybe except for the last round. You know, to be in the position that he was in and the crucifix and just getting dominated on the ground and punched in the face and elbowed, and it's a very frustrating place to be in. I thought he handled it well. And
that wasn't hype talking, it was the promoter admitting what the arena felt. This wasn't close, and it wasn't lucky. The critical shift after Chicago isn't that Khamzat can win 5 at middleweight, it's that he can control 5 at middleweight. The cardio questions that used to shadow him felt smaller, the top pressure felt heavier, and even the not much damage from crucifix line turned into do you have an exit at all? If your plan A is to keep it clean and long, he drags you into the mud. If your plan B is to explode off bottom, he makes the cage feel like wet cement. But the night wasn't just dominance, it had static. The stand-ups. Mark Goddard twice reset the action during long stretches of top control. One side called it saving the fight, the other called it robbing the grind. Either way, the noise did what noise always does. It kept the conversation alive long after the belt left the octagon.
Stand him up already. Stand him up.
Talk to me about that main event, DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev.
I just don't get why Duplessis has achieved so much, because and again I say it sounds like I keep saying it. I keep saying sometimes you can spar some, you know, like new guys in the gym, just like they don't have the experience, but they hit you because they do some crazy stuff.
You don't need to agree to understand the effect. Controversy is oxygen. It turned a shutout into a debate, and debates sell the next one. Khamzat wasn't shy about it. He wants a quick turnaround. Abu Dhabi is the perfect stage, a crowd that roars for every step and a setting that makes the aura feel bigger. The problem isn't desire, it's calendar math. The right opponent has to be healthy, available, medically cleared, and promotable soon.
Do you still want to turn around and fight in Abu Dhabi?
we'll see what they say.
That's a message, not a sentence. He's telling the locker room, if you're ready, I'm not waiting.
He had said all fight week he wants to turn around and fight in Abu Dhabi. Is that something you would consider, or do you feel like with the heavyweight title already on that card, like he maybe...
I just had a kid fight Tuesday and wanted to turn around and come here. I would... Abu Dhabi, I would definitely consider.
Yeah.
Not a promise, but definitely not a no, and that's all matchmaking needs to start moving pieces. Quick poll, if Abu Dhabi happens, who should get it? Paris winner or Vancouver winner later? Comment Paris or Vancouver so I can see where you stand. If you love pure style questions, this is the one. Grappler versus grappler, but from different angles. Reinier de Ridder isn't a chaos merchant, he's an organizer. Body locks, mat returns, patient constriction. He wants to test the thing Khamzat does best, not run from it. That's why hardcore fans keep circling his name. If the champion is gravity, de Ridder is the ceiling that refuses to let you fall. Timing, though, is a knot. He's tied to another fight on the near horizon. Even if he walks out perfect, you still need weight cuts, travel, and a doctor's signature. That's why this one feels inevitable, but maybe not immediate. Some fights need a simmer before they boil. The talk around de Ridder picked up right after UFC 319. He was in attendance and the grappling intrigue spiked. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is a different kind of danger. He doesn't win because he's faster to one position. He wins because he's relentless everywhere. Pace is a weapon. Pressure is a language. If you're hunting for a middleweight who won't accept top pressure as a resting place, this is the resume you study. Against Khamzat, the question is deliciously simple. What happens when a furnace meets a steamroller? Does one melt or does one keep moving? Hernandez's calendar has the same problem de Ridder's does. Commitments that sit too close to the Abu Dhabi window. If both men win clean, the logistics still have to say yes. If either absorbs damage, the answer is no by default. That's why the division keeps glancing at Europe. Paris presents the cleanest fast track, Nassourdine Imavov versus Caio Borralho. It's earlier, it's headline energy, and if the winner takes no real damage, the turnaround into Abu Dhabi is actually realistic. Imavov brings tall man problems with sting on the end. Borralho brings technical discipline and balance that ruins sloppy entries. Against Khamzat, either matchup is easy to sell, the cerebral counterfighter, or the composed technician trying to prove the champion can be edited before he overwhelms. What makes Paris smart isn't just timing, it's narrative. Win in Paris, fight for the belt in Abu Dhabi. Sounds like a plan, not a gamble. Ref talk, boring talk, GOAT talk. It all feeds the machine. Dominance wins belts. Arguments build audiences. The people who hated the stand-ups will show up to see Khamzat remove all doubt. The people who liked the resets will show up to see if anyone can force them again. Either way, the next broadcast walks in with heat already humming. And the rest of the card chatter never hurts. Carlos Paredes spinning elbowed his way back into the conversation. Michael Venom Page kept calling his shots and even floated Brazil. Volkanovski talked in December. John Jones teased retirement and comeback in the space of a breath, because of course he did. None of that books Khamzat's challenger by itself, but all of it fattens the audience waiting to hear the name.
Wants to fight in Brazil October 11th.
Oh, amazing.
For a welterweight, would you be...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
100%. Yeah, and you're not hitting me with that spending elbow, I'll tell you that now. But yeah, 100%. That's a great fight. And it is those kind of fights that I want. It's those kind of fights that I'm calling out. And if he's happy, you know, I'll happily put my hand up and I would love to go to Brazil, man. I've had fans in Brazil for many years. I remember being called the UK Anderson Silva, which is a massive compliment. But I had a load of fans in Brazil and I still haven't managed to get over there yet. So I'd definitely love to be over there.
Do you think that'd be a quick turnaround? Because I think that's October 11th would be the fight in Rio.
Ooh. Yeah, no, again, and I feel pretty good. Like, is no damage, no real damage. Little sore leg slightly, but that's normal when people try to go for your legs and stuff, kicking the legs. Nothing, that'll be fine in a week. So that sounds very good to me.
Star energy sloshes across divisions. Nights like 3-1-19 build a bigger room for everyone on the marquee. Then there's the suitcase nobody can ignore, business. Israel Adesanya whispers that he's not done, and timelines start bending. Strickland stays loud. Dricus du Plessis, yes, even after a rough night, has a rematch button if he detonates someone. The UFC doesn't hide the formula. When merit and market are close, they pick both. When they aren't, they pick the one that moves more air. If Abu Dhabi needs a co-main fireworks package or a different headliner, don't be surprised if the middleweight belt waits a beat for the right dance partner. A lot of contenders talk themselves into comfort with Khamzat because they fixate on one position, stuff the shot, win underhooks, force a stand-up. What gets missed is decision speed under load. He doesn't just react quickly, he commits quickly, and then makes that commitment true. He turns half positions into control, and control into rounds. If there's a blueprint, it's probably not a moment in time, it's a rate of questions. Make him repeat entries. Make him pick different finishes, force second and third efforts with your back off the fence and your feet under you. That's why de Ridder, Hernandez, Imavov, and Borralho are interesting. They each promise to change the pace of the thinking, not only the look of the exchanges.
No injuries. Thanks, God.
Two words that sound like a shrug but land like a threat. They tell the UFC, I can anchor your date, and they tell contenders, I won't be sitting around waiting for you to feel ready. These are the three lanes that actually make sense. Lane A Abu Dhabi versus the Paris winner. If Paris ends clean and the winner can pivot fast, this is the most realistic way to keep the champion active and the division moving. It's tidy, timely, and sells itself. Lane B, wait and make the purest fight. If Paris doesn't yield a healthy pivot, let de Ridder versus Hernandez happen. Then give the winner the shot with a full runway normal camp, full promo cycle, proper recovery. Hardcore fans get their style test and the champion gets a challenger with momentum. Lane C, the wild card lever. If a superstar detonates, Adesanya returns in style, DDP flattens someone, or another big name kicks down a door, the UFC may follow the biggest echo. We've seen it, we'll see it again. If you hated the stand-ups, the quickest way to make them meaningless is for Khamzat to make the next fight look like an avalanche. If you loved them, the quickest way to prove they mattered is to see a challenger survive those same positions without a reset. Either outcome clarifies the myth. That's why an active champion is so dangerous for everyone else. He gets to answer questions before your arguments have time to harden.
A lot of people are going to be like, oh, Movzat should be there. It's like, hey, I tried. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, I tried to make that happen. I thought he deserves it. He did deserve it. He had this fight, and then I'm like, all right, you know, he's going to have to do this fight, and then he definitely gets it. And then he pulled out, and you know what the UFC's like with things like that. You know, maybe they try to push it back because they push the date further. And he still didn't do it. Maybe it was a serious injury. I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. You know, it doesn't look like it's going to be a Movzat. But I mean, I've tried with all of them, but now it looks like it's a Lerone Murphy. It makes a lot of sense. So let's do Lerone Murphy December. Sounds great.
It's featherweight business, sure, but a confident call-out like that sets a tone. Big names want dates. Big dates want champions. Abu Dhabi wants a king. If Paris ends clean, Khamzat defends in Abu Dhabi against the Paris winner. Fast, loud, and designed to flip the stand-up discourse into a reminder about gravity. If Paris gets messy or the medicals don't line up, the belt waits for the de Ridder/Hernandez winner, late 2025 or early 2026 with a full drumbeat behind it. There's no hedge needed beyond that. The champion just turned 5 rounds into a routine. The rest of the room is choosing which kind of fire they want to walk through first. A clinch scientist who reduces chaos, a furnace who multiplies it, or a technician who edits mistakes before they happen. The only safe plan is the one that doesn't exist. Every era asks one question of its champion. For Khamzat, it isn't can you drown them anymore. It's can you keep this pace of dominance when the only men left are the ones who don't break. Paris answers one piece, Vancouver answers another, Abu Dhabi might answer both in one night.
I'm ready always, so.
Sometimes the scariest line is the shortest one.